Money, power, and, well, totally conflicting visions of the future. Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a clash that's honestly monumental. Because when two of the world's absolute most influential figures, Donald Trump and Bill Gates, butt heads, it's really not just your everyday disagreement over policy. Nope. What we're actually looking at here is a fundamental battle of ideologies. One is a real estate tycoon turned president, the other is a tech visionary. We're going to uncover the whole story behind their super public rivalry and figure out exactly why these two titans literally just cannot see eye to eye. It's a wildly fascinating look at what happens when two completely different worldviews collide at the absolute highest level.
Okay, so to really get this rivalry, we have to rewind and look at the actual foundation of their worlds. On one side, you've got Donald Trump. He's completely defined by his background as a real estate tycoon turned president, right? His entire worldview was forged in this rough and tumble arena of property development, high-stakes deal-making, and eventually national politics. It's a world that runs on momentum, optics, and economic engines. Then, over on the other side, we have Bill Gates, the ultimate tech visionary. His whole approach is rooted in software, data, engineering, and huge global philanthropy. To him, the world is basically a giant system of variables that can be optimized. So these aren't just different job titles. We're talking about entirely different ways of processing reality and solving complex problems. Their conflict wasn't just personal. It was a true clash of ideologies stemming from completely different life experiences.
So even though they come from these totally different universes, their paths inevitably crossed. And man, they didn't just cross at some random Tuesday event. They collided head-on during one of the absolute most challenging times in modern history, the COVID-19 pandemic. This was, without a doubt, the ultimate stress test for global leaders. It was the inciting incident, the crossroads where the businessman turned politician and the tech founder turned philanthropist were suddenly shoved into the exact same arena. They were dealing with the exact same global threat, but they were reading from completely different playbooks.
Now, the really crucial part is how they actually responded to that crisis, because it completely exposed that core philosophical divide we just talked about. On one hand, Donald Trump's approach leaned heavily on prioritizing an economic reopening. From his desk in the Oval Office, keeping that economic engine revving and maintaining national momentum was absolutely paramount to survival. But on the other hand, Bill Gates was out there advocating for strict health measures. He's looking at the pandemic purely through the lens of viral spread, containment metrics, and vaccine timelines. Think about it. When you have one major leader prioritizing economic momentum and another prioritizing strict, data-driven containment, well, a collision is basically inevitable.
And guess what? That philosophical difference did not stay quiet for long. It escalated, and it escalated fast. Reports show that Gates didn't hold back at all in criticizing the former president's strategies. He actually went as far as labeling them dangerous to public health. But Trump, in classic fashion, certainly didn't just sit back and take it. He fired right back by openly questioning the transparency of organizations supported by the Gates Foundation. Suddenly, this billionaire's massive philanthropic influence was under intense public scrutiny. What started as just a difference in pandemic strategy rapidly blew up into direct, highly public criticisms from both guys. It wasn't just about the virus anymore. It was about trust, methodology, and ultimately, who had the right blueprint to lead the way forward.
Which brings us to the absolute boiling point of their entire rivalry. The tension we've been tracking finally exploded over one specific, very powerful institution, the World Health Organization. This wasn't just some war of words on the news anymore. No, it was now a battle over actual, tangible global resources. This whole WHO tug-of-war became the ultimate battleground where their contrasting ideologies were put into direct, opposing action right on the world stage.
Let's break down exactly how this went down, because the cause and effect loop here is just fascinating. So step one, as the pandemic is raging, the U.S., under Donald Trump's directive, starts distancing itself from the World Health Organization and actually moves to cut its funding, bringing up those exact transparency concerns we mentioned earlier. Then step two, almost immediately, Bill Gates steps up his own foundation's efforts to fill that exact financial gap. Do you see the dynamic there? It's a direct, almost literal countermove. When the president pulled back national resources based on his ideological stance, the tech visionary deployed his massive private philanthropic resources based on his. It is honestly one of the clearest examples in modern history of private wealth directly countering public policy in real time.
As you can imagine, the fallout from this global funding battle was incredibly messy. We're talking a massive public tug-of-war. The whole thing degraded from high-level debates over international health policy into really sharp, very public personal criticisms. And to add fuel to the fire, this highly visible clash acted as a total lightning rod. It sparked widespread conspiracy theories circulating like crazy among supporters on both sides. The friction between these two massive, larger-than-life figures generated so much heat that their relationship officially became one of the most talked about, scrutinized, and polarizing rivalries in recent politics.
So after all the public jabs and the billions of dollars moving around, you might be wondering, why does this actually matter to me? Well, it matters because when billionaires collide, especially figures with this much gravity, the entire world watches. And we watch because the outcome of their disagreements actually shapes our reality. Their clash over COVID policy, global funding, and the economy didn't just happen in some billionaire vacuum. It literally affected international organizations, global health initiatives, and honestly, the daily lives of billions of people. It showed us exactly what happens when massive private wealth and massive political power go head-to-head.
Which leaves us with this one big provocative question to wrap things up. Is this rivalry really just about differing business strategies, or is it a deep-rooted, fundamental difference in how they think the entire world should be run? Think about it. The real estate tycoon versus the tech visionary. The one thing we know for sure is that the ideologies driving these two men are completely opposed, and their clash has definitely left a permanent mark on history. But what do you think about their rivalry and the ideas behind it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to read them. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's biggest stories right here on our Explainer series.